right, guys, we're back. After a fair bit of an absence, I have been so busy over the last month. Haven't even had a chance to sit down to look at Supercoach properly. I think last time I was in the top 200. Now I'm in the 400s. And yes, I did go up. I dropped all the way to 600s and something. Um, we'll go in to check that. But as for this week, 2377 isn't the worst. I did see a couple of 2400s. Only two in the leagues that I'm in. I'm in about, say, 4 or 5 leagues. But I did see a couple just floating around Twitter and stuff like that. So, obviously, there was a lot better to have. And I think I know what I did wrong. It is kind of a stupid mistake. It's one of those, I just didn't have enough time in the week to really look at Supercoach and think. So I kind of just autopiloted through trades, and I mean it's shown, right? But yeah, I mean we're still in the top 1% of overall players, so it's not bad. This is by far my best finish still. Gunning for top 100. We'll see if it's possible. Yeah, into the team. So it has changed a fair bit since last time. If we go to history and trade history, which I'll try not to block. I've got it up on here, so I'll try not to block it. I think the last time was this slot here. So bringing in Goulden, Kruger, and Schoenmaker. All three have been good. And I think this was fine trade outs. I think this was a good trade all around. If I could go back, I'd like to see who else was available instead of Goulden. Even though he's been fine, I want to see if Dunkley was available, because I do kind of want him. Then there was the next week, which this was the week that, these 3 weeks, I've been so busy. This one was damn near using trade assist, because I was so tired I didn't even want to look at Supercoach. Went with Simpkin, which ended up being fine that week, and I still think it's fine. I think he's going to be my bench forward if everything goes to plan. Worst case scenario, he's my F6, which I think is better than other people's F6, which is probably Kerno. We'll see. I think it was fine. If I had time that week, I'd probably go with Elijah Hollins, who in the midfield, but he's just playing so much better. But I just didn't have any time at all that week. For Sullivan out, who I don't think he's played. Did he play this week? Didn't watch the Collingwood game. I was out. So what? 16 is that this week? I think it is. So he did play only 85 minutes, which probably means he got subbed or got stuck on the bench. And not good versus North either. But Powell had to go. Thought maybe he suffices at F6, but didn't happen. And then Warner, this actually is one where I just didn't have time. I was sorted by highest score in less than 3 games played, picked him, and then he got then he got picked as the sub, and then this week was dropped. So yeah, not great, but got me 200k, which got me to 2 players that I wanted to get in. Rosie and Caldwell. So Caldwell's my F5, and then Rosie is kind of an M9, which I do need. Team value has basically completely halted. You can see the rank here. So last time I was recording, I got to 242, because this week hadn't started yet. It would be going into this week. 617, yeah, terrible score. The second of the bye rounds. Oh, there's so many now, but yeah, just I think I had 2 tons in the team, something like that. It was 3 tons. It was terrible, absolutely horrible. I thought oh great, I'm dropping to 1,000, but yeah, maybe we can make it back up, get in the top 100. That's the goal. Coming from someone who I think my best finish was last year. It was 8,000 or 6,000, something like that. Being in the top 1,000 is definitely a W. Next year, Next year, there's a bit more knowledge of like how the buys are going to work with round zero and round one and everything like that. I think there's a higher chance of finishing better next year than there was this year. Um, yeah, so Dempsey out, Fife out. So traded 2 tons for basically 2 tons. Obviously, in hindsight, would have kept Dempsey another week, or I would have kept Fife and traded Took out to Dunkley, which was on the table. But I thought it's better to keep Took and like have him be my rotation, um, eighth and ninth mid. But turns out Rail's actually the issue. So yeah, not great. Going into the team, Dacos was good. Like I said, didn't really watch any of the Collingwood game. Just was out. Wasn't at home. 16. Yeah, didn't really get to see this one or this one. Um, but yeah, from the little highlights and stats and stuff like that, he played fine. Sheasel was pretty good. I mean, it was North versus the Dogs, and for the 10 minutes I watched, it looked like North Melbourne. So yeah, it is what it is. Houston, not great, but I was I was honestly not watching this one because I was waiting for the other two. Yeah, what happened? Let's see. Let's have a look at stats. Here, fantasy stats. 14 touches, just not enough. Didn't get around it. Which is kind of interesting because Saints give up touches to back backline players. Maybe I should go back, watch some highlights of this game, see how they were playing. I did see the third quarter, like bits and pieces of it. I thought Naz probably deserved 100 for this game, but probably an efficiency thing. Again, I haven't fully looked, but yeah, I'd imagine it's an efficiency thing because the third quarter he was racking it up, and I thought that he was pretty impactful for them. Ryan was good in the absence of what's his name? Is it Alex Keith? No, that's the Dogs guy. Damn, can't think of his name. But Frio's typical captain. Is it, is it Keith something like? No, it's not. I can't think of his name. Um, he was good. I'm thinking that I should have went Jordan Clark over Ryan, but I think in the moment there was no way you could say that, like to go Clark over Ryan. What is Clark's 3 round? 552, so basically 100k cheaper. 3 round of 95. Yeah, so you wouldn't have been able to. 151. Maybe nah. After Ryan's like 170 and stuff, I think everyone would have. Oh, I thought Ryan was 600, but yeah. Um, nah, I think everyone would have went Ryan, so it's not too bad of a trade. Naz spoke about that. I think it should have been 100. And then Martin kind of did a bit of nothing that game, so it's great. Another fraud in the team. Got a couple of them, which is not great with 3 trades left. Got probably like 4 guys I've got to trade out with 3 trades. Um, Warner, like I said, got dropped, and Schoenmaker I thought was fine. I didn't really see much of him. His name got brought up a couple of times, so I'm guessing he got a couple touches of the ball, but yeah, he could get dropped. Hope not, but he could. Mids went with Bont as the vice captain, right? Yeah. Why has it done that? Okay, if I do undo, I think it's because I pressed optimize. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, had Bont as the vice captain. When I saw that he was sick, I was like, all right, I'm gonna chuck it on there. It's a 130 or it's a 70. And it ended up being 150, so we'll take that. Goulden 95. I want to say Sydney got unlucky, but they didn't. They kind of just shot themselves in the foot. Sydney is a better team than Freo, and they shouldn't have really ever went down to Freo. Like it was a pretty big lead Freo had at one point. I remember looking. Yeah, you can't really let that happen. So I'm not going to say it's unlucky from Sydney to not like kick the game winner or anything, but yeah, you shouldn't have been down that much. Merritt. feels like it's just a common thing. Like versus Geelong, he doesn't score the best. Can I see? Damn, it's not going to show it, is it? Because they've already played. I want to see like the last three against Geelong, but yeah, didn't expect anything. It's why there wasn't any like vice captain or captaincy on him, but didn't expect them to get blown out by 45 to Geelong. Like, especially this version of Geelong, they're just not that great anymore. Sarong, I don't know what happened. Just couldn't really get much of it. You know, 23 touches, seven tackles. Pardon me. Yeah, just not clean enough with it to kind of get to 100. Who was actually the highest scorer from that game? Um, Brayshaw, was it? Like, who? Ryan Blakey. Yeah, okay, I guess so. Yeah, yeah. Switkowski, Draper, 592. That's annoying. I could have kept him. He could have like been on the bench here. It's annoying. Let's see where were we so wrong. Butters I thought was good. Maybe his issue is when he's good, like 130s captaincy type player. Port kind of struggle, so they have to kind of bring him back in for the second half, and that's kind of what halts the scoring because it feels like every game he could go for like 150, but then it kind of like bring it back, right? Like play within the team. Walsh 148, saw it coming, just already had the Bont 150 locked up. He was my captain option. It's not showing it now, but originally it was Bont into Walsh with like just Vicentini loop or like everything else going on. Did have a couple of guys not playing that I could loop. Um, yeah, it was always going to happen. The thing from this game is Nick Newman. Now I'm pretty sure I said like I would never touch Nick Newman as a player because like it's just too risky. But his last 10 have been insane. Like 150, 104. 57's not good, but I'd like to look into that. Like, what happened? Was he just not on kickouts that game? 102, 104, 147, or 148 in there. I mean, if he's your D6, then you've like struck gold with that one. If I could, I'd go Martin to Newman, but three trays left. Not really the room for it. Then Took and Rao. Honestly, if you told me these were the scores, I thought it'd be the other way round. I thought Rao was gonna like bully against the Collingwood mids, but didn't happen. I have seen a bit of slander on like Matt Rao now because like, oh, he's only a contested bull. He doesn't actually do anything with it. I don't think that's all true. I think it's just a bit of the way Gold Coast are playing, right? Like, and Rao doesn't end seasons good. Like, just have a look at every season he's played so far. Even last year, he didn't end it good. I think his tank, because he's so contested, really like runs out in the first half of the season. Um, like, you don't see efficiency on here, but like 20 touches isn't a bad game. It's just probably not the super coach player you want. But I mean, the Ginger Ninja, right? Like, I like watching him anyway. But yeah, I would have thought these would be the other way around. Took, though, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I still think he's going to be a rotation type of player. I could trade him out this week. It's on the cards. But it's just who do I even go to, right? So, like, if I was to trade him, it would be Took, Fraser, either a Dunkley or a Neil. I'd like to get one of the Brisbane guys in because Brisbane should be hitting a bit of form now to make finals, give a run in finals and stuff like that. They've got a pretty easy schedule as well. I can have a look at Brisbane's schedule real quick. Next three of Adelaide, West Coast, Sydney. That's not terrible. Sydney's not great, but like followed with a St Kilda game in there, a Collingwood and Essendon game. You take that. That's a pretty good schedule to end the year. Rosie, like I said, brought him in. He's just kind of the guy who's going to sit back here. Probably if I trade Took or one of these two, I'm thinking Took might be the better guy because he can give you a random 140, um, and then just kind of like rotate them. It is weird that I did it. I didn't look at the schedule enough. I can't loop them until round 19 because the AFL decided they don't want Thursday night games anymore. This weekend with the no Thursdays, I hated it. Man, there's too much football on Sunday, and the joint games at the same time on Saturday is absolutely awful. These two were on at the same time. Everyone's only watching this, but like Supercoach players have to watch this. Yeah, I thought it was absolutely terrible. You could easily put that Sydney Frio game on a Friday night, easily. Like it would be a good game on a Friday night. This week, oh great, I can't loop them because they play at the same time. Thank you, Andrew Dillon. Um, Hate that. Two games on a Saturday night. Sweet. Thank you. Couldn't put one of these. Couldn't put that on a Friday night or a Thursday night. No, can't do it. All right, whatever. Um, this is get Dillon out, man. He sucks. Every change with Andrew Dillon in has been an L so far. And then 18, they play each other. Can't loop them. That one's not Andrew Dillon's fault, but I wish I could blame it on him, so I am going to blame it on him. Then 19 is like the first time I actually can do anything with him, and they're playing on the same day. Far out. It's such a shit schedule. The AFL's like so screwed. From the umpiring to everything. It's so shit. Gawn, Marshall. I thought Gawn was super low this week. Expected way better, but he's got West Coast. Flynn is injured, so if he's up against BJ, then it's going to be easy. Marshall 111. I thought that's kind of overscored for him. I didn't think he was actually that good around the ground. He was winning taps though, I guess. So that's. Oh no, he wasn't winning taps. He's actually only good around the ground, but whatever. Um, Flanders was good. Some people had him like vice captain, captain. I'd imagine most of them had a Bont or a Walsh backup. Heaney, yeah, I mean, all the Sydney mids weren't really trying that game, it felt like. Apart from like Rowbottom or something like that, I think. Zorko, who did Brisbane even play? Why can I not think of it? I keep thinking 17, 16. Melbourne, yeah, that's right. Yeah, did they make the comeback, or was it Melbourne that made the comeback and then just fell short? This game was. I turned on for like maybe the bit of the first quarter, bit of the second quarter. It was so boring. I had to turn it off. And then the fourth quarter was good, but I wasn't watching that. Caldwell, 127. Take it. I mean, most people would have brought in Rankin this week. So, what was my gain on the Rankin, guys? I think Rankin had 121. Is that right? 121, yeah, so 6 points. I'll take it. Point of difference. Zach Fisher got subbed, but it's just minor. He was just limping a bit. I imagine he had maybe like a bit of a corky or something like that. Simpkin, not great. Have to look at the centre bounce attendances and stuff, make sure they're still up, because if they're not, we've got an issue. I guess worst case scenario, I just go him and Fraser to Rankin. Then I have the top 6 forwards, like pretty easily. I have like the best forwards you could have, and then it's just kind of the midfield. I have to work something out. I have to pull off a miracle in the midfield. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna do it like this for trades. Would even just bring in a defender, right? Because like Dacos is better than half the midfielders I'm going to get. 120 average. Then who is there as a defender? Why is it not sorting by defenders? Yo, I mean, I was thinking about Yo early in the week, so lucky I didn't bring him in because that score sucks. McGovern looked like he was copping a couple of niggles, so I don't really want to touch that at all. That's been the whole year. I think McGovern is one of the picks that should not work. It shouldn't have worked, but for some people it is, and it's annoying because that's what's holding me back in rank. Newman, I'm not gonna. I did that right. Could I then not do you at just to give me two playing there? Then I'll have two playing here. I'd like to have another playing there. Can't do it. Alright, cancel that. Oh, reset it, I mean. Reset it. Tug out. Fraser out. We'll go with what I was planning for, which is... I think it's Dunkley. Dunky, yeah. Alright. Not enough sleep over 2 weeks. Dunkley, and what was the Geelong guy's name? It was down here. Humphreys, that's it. Whether he keeps the spot or not, I mean, it's pretty well noted that what's his name is a Supercoach terrorist, Chris Scott. So everyone's playing here. I really wish I could get another playing here. Yeah, maybe Dawson wasn't the trading, whatever. Also got to make sure Kruger keeps his spot. I think he will. He's just been a good big body down there for Collingwood. So, and then I just kind of rotate these ones. I actually need a donut here, don't I? What if I went with what's his name? Al Hooley. 124k. I can go Simpkin to Rankin. Final trade. The only issue is, yeah, I can't loop. Yikes. I did that. Damn. Alright, so I have to trade in a player here that I can actually loop with. So I think it's Al Hooley. He's not going to come up. Less than 3. All the way down. By the lowest price. Yeah. Al Howley. Yeah, whatever. Go with that. Just because I need a loop. And that'll do, right? So it's between Dunkley and Neil. I don't know if I want Neil or not. I wish there was a compare here. Like that would be sweet. A compare button. I mean, what, 1, 2, 3 missed tons versus Dunkley. How many times have you missed the ton, buddy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I'm not going to count 99. So 1, 2, 98's not going to count. 1, 2, 3. So, damn, it's about the same. I might go Neil. I'm kind of feeling Neil right now, so go like that. Probably don't have to get rid of Fraser. His score is probably better than most of these guys, so then I can not loop this week, of course, but probably prefer Rosie with the dogs over Rao with North, who's probably going to get tagged. But yeah, so that's about it for this week. So sorry about the 2 weeks off, but I've been so busy. Needed the time off. And yeah, I'm just cooked on footy, so yeah, whatever. See you all next week. Tasty out.